Hello, everyone, and thank you so much for tuning in to Career Talk with Kay.
Hi, everybody.
I am so happy to be back with you all. I have been away for a while. I have not done any videos. I have been extremely busy, but that is neither here nor there. I am back now. I got my little hat on, my workout clothes. I've been trying to get into the gym, do what I got to do in that area. Sweated out my hair after getting it done, 2 days ago? But it is what it is. I'm still here. My birthday is tomorrow, so I'm just living life. But I wanted to come to you guys and talk to you about interview tips. So this video is for some, and it's not for some people as well. Some of you are already pros at interviewing. Kudos to you. But there are lots of people who have a hard time with interviewing. So I just wanted to come with a few tips. There are so many out there, so I've tried to condense my list somewhat, but I really want to make sure you guys are very well prepared. All right, so first of all, prior to your interview, make sure you have done your research on the company and also the industry that you're interviewing in. For instance, if you are interviewing for a company outside of where you currently work, make sure you have gone on their website, went to their About Me or just About, read through that, memorized a lot of it, memorized their values, their core values, what they talk about as far as it pertains to the culture of the company, all of that. And especially the industry that you're interviewing for. So let's say, for instance, you're currently in insurance like I was, but you're trying to get into a marketing position or something. Make sure you have done the necessary research on marketing and marketing for that industry. So if it's a different industry other than insurance, for example, make sure you have done your research on that. Of course, we all know Google has a lot of information on there, and I am sure there are lots of articles, blogs, and everything on whatever industry that you're trying to get into. All right. So again, the first thing is make sure that you have researched the company, their core values, their culture, etc., and the industry that you're interviewing for. Okay. All right. Okay, guys. So number 2. Make sure you also prepare for the interview by researching commonly asked interview questions. You can go to Google, Yahoo search, Bing, whatever it is that you want to use, and download some of those questions and grab a friend, family member, coworker, or whoever to do a mock interview with you. Remember, practice makes perfect. So you want to make sure you're very well prepared, that you have practiced these questions. You don't want to sound too rehearsed, but you do want to make sure that you have fully prepared for some of those potential questions that you may get. Okay? All right, so number 3, make sure you have researched the culture of the company so you can be appropriately dressed for your interview. So what do I mean by that? There are some companies that are very laid back. So for instance, if you are applying for an artsy job and you've gotten an interview for that, you may not want to go there with a suit, tie, too dressy. Save that for more of a corporate type position. And you just never know, but you don't want to be too overdressed, and you definitely don't want to be underdressed for an interview. If all else fails, remember that the typical interview clothing are your navy blue or black skirt suits, pantsuits for ladies, and then the same applies for the men. Your suits, black or navy blue suits. Men, you can also do some nice slacks and a nice polo shirt or button down shirt, depending on the culture of the company, of course. But just make sure overall you are nicely groomed. You smell good, that does play a part. Your breath is fresh. Hair is done, neatly cut, neatly groomed, nails done. All of that is important. Your first impression is everything. All right. And so the next thing, and I'm looking down at my notes. So the next thing I want you to do is make sure you have prepared relevant questions to ask after the interview is over. Okay, so what you don't want to do is end an interview with no questions. So they're going to ask you, do you have any questions for us? Well, what I don't want you to do is say, oh no, I'm good. You've answered everything. No, they haven't answered everything. And even if they have, I'm going to need you to dig in to make sure that you can find something to ask. Or you can say, well, I had a few questions prepared. You've answered the questions. But even if you say that, I still want you to have or try to think of a couple of questions. So the typical questions that are asked after an interview are, what are your advancement opportunities? Because most of the time they won't say that, depending on where it is you're interviewing. But what are your advancement opportunities, mentorship opportunities? What is the culture of the environment? How many people are on a team? What is the management structure? I mean, anything you can kind of think of, but you want to make sure you have at least, I would say, 3 questions to ask after your interview. So make sure you're fully prepared for that. All right. So the next thing I want you to do is to make sure you bring enough copies of your resume. You should know how many people you're interviewing with, but if not, I would still say bring at least 4 copies of your resume just in case they surprise you with 2 to 3 other people in your interview. And even if they don't, you'll have extra copies for the next time if need be, right? So make sure you bring copies of your resume. And that's pretty short and sweet. There's really nothing else to say about that. That's the gist of it. Okay, so the next thing is be confident, not cocky. We all know the difference between confidence and cockiness, right? So be confident in your abilities and in your experience and just in yourself in general. Okay? If you applied for the job, obviously you thought that you were the right woman or man for that particular job or position. If not, why would you even apply? And I know some of you may say, well, I just needed a job. No, let's be real. You thought that you had a chance to at least get an interview. So if you are actually granted an interview, you need to make sure you are confident. You, again, would not have applied for that job if you were not confident in yourself. So there is some confidence there. So I want to make sure that you go into it, you're looking straight ahead at them, you're speaking articulately, and you're being yourself. That's the next thing. Make sure you're being yourself. You're being confident. You're being yourself. You're not trying to put on so you can get the job because you think that's what they're looking for. A lot of people are hired over others that may have more experience or more education because they were more likable than that other person. They showed their true personality, and either all of the interviewers or one of the interviewers really liked them and went for bat for them. I have been in that position. I remember how I got into claims. One of the interviewers who became my manager, he was just laughing the entire time, and I kind of played to that. So I was joking around a little bit. He was joking and he was having a ball. And I promise you, I really believe he really batted for me when it came to getting that job because I literally had no experience. not direct experience, but I was able to play on the experience that I did have that kind of went with the job description, like customer service background and using my communication degree and all of that. But I was myself. I was like 23, 24ish, and that's all I did. So I would just say, be yourself, be confident in what you're talking about, be confident in your abilities, and you will be good to go. And so the next thing is one of the questions that really get people when they ask you to tell a little bit about yourself. Some people get this right, and some people fail miserably. So when they are asking you to tell a little bit about yourself, they are not asking you to tell where you were born, when your parents got divorced, how many brothers and sisters you have, how your husband proposed to you, how you failed calculus back in the day. They're not asking you those types of questions. They really want to know your job, your relevant job experience and performance in that particular job. Okay? So they want to know how did you even get here, and you're letting them know why they hired, or why they not hired you, but why they took a chance on you to get you to that step of an interview. And that's usually the first question that they'll ask you. So you want to make sure that you're well prepared for that, and don't fumble. Just boom, boom, boom. This is it. I was a manager. I, was the top. Our team was the top scorers in the department, and blah, 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 blah. All right. So after that, the next thing is never, ever, ever talk negatively about your previous employer, the company, your manager, your coworkers, the CEO. Don't ever talk negatively about them. If they ask you why you left, you can basically just say, I left because I, read about this company. Your values are more in line with my personal and career values. And I thought this would be a better fit for me. I saw that you have more advancement opportunities at this particular company, and there's some positions that I would definitely be interested in the future. But I thought that this would be a great fit for me. Something like that. But don't ever say my manager was a jerk, they were racist at that company, nobody liked me, everybody was out to get me. Don't say that. It is what it is. It happened. Move on. Because sometimes they do call your previous employer. I hope you know that. Okay. All right, cool. And to go along with that, make sure any question that they ask, you turn your negative into a positive. So if they ask you, what is something that you would like to work on with yourself? Well, you can say something like, well, I'm a perfectionist and I like to make sure my work is done perfectly. And sometimes that will mean that I'll stay at work for 10 to 12 hours, or I work on the weekends to make sure my work is done properly. And so what I've been doing to work on that, I'm trying to work on my work-life balance so I can have more of a good balance between work and personal life. So that doesn't really sound bad, but you don't want to say, well, I'm always late to work every single day, so I'm trying my best to get up early, so, but I'm tardy, to work every single day. Like, no, don't say that. So the last three things are, just make sure you smile, you're sitting up straight, you're looking them straight in the eye to show that you're confident and that you're the right person for the job, and just go in and kill it. Like, you got this. You would not be in an interview for a job if you were not the right person for the job. Even if you don't get it, you are there for a reason. So just make sure you kill it. You are confident in your abilities and in your experience, like I stated before, and just go in, be yourself, like you got it. And then after you're done, make sure you send your thank you notes, your thank you emails to everyone involved, thanking them for the opportunity. And as someone once told me, make sure you don't say I hope for the opportunity to work for you. Say I look forward to the opportunity. Let them see you were really confident in your interview, okay? And after that, you just wait. And hopefully you get the job. If not, just know that that particular job was not meant for you. And so go and do it over until you land the job that was meant for you. All right, so get out there and kill it. I hope these interview tips work and help you tremendously. Let me know in the comments below what you think. Also, be sure to like, share, and subscribe, and stay tuned for the next video. Thank you guys. Bye.